Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Victoria 2 with the New Nations mod as the Tukulur Empire. In the last episode we've just been waiting for an opportunity to go to war against Wolof. What we're waiting for is for France to be distracted, basically. So let's unpause and continue. We've also been increasing our relations... Oh, and Austria's been pieced out, okay. Increasing our relations slowly with the UK, speaking of. Sombrero width at an all-time high. Annals of the past. The peasants are taking to the streets, rising up against their rulers in ways that would have been unthinkable only decades ago. So we are losing some militancy and consciousness, which is fine. 57 inches, that's a big sombrero. So we're really just waiting for our Diplo points to slowly trickle in and then immediately sending them over to the UK. We're up to minus 38 with them. Just hedging against the possibility of them attacking us, which obviously would be bad. There would be pretty much nothing we could do about it. Speaking of great powers though, I haven't checked in a little while whether any of them are attempting to sphere me. It looks like there is some competition going on. France is up to friendly, which actually is pretty interesting. They could potentially intervene, I think, if the UK was to declare war. And if they do sphere us, we can probably get an alliance with them, I think. Which obviously would be welcome. Revolution in Hawaii. In fact, France has actually been increasing relations with us themselves, I think. We're previously at 105. Okay. So, a crisis. This is over a country that I do not recognize, apparently involving the Ottomans, though. Cilicia. I think that is up here somewhere. Am I close? Maybe not. Well, if they get released, we'll find out. How likely is that to happen? UK is going to go in on Spain's side, as is Prussia. So it looks like it'll be pretty heavily in Spain's favor. Oh, and Spain has added Aquitaine there as a crisis goal or whatever, which will make France much less likely to go with a white peace on that, or give them that, I suppose, as a resolution. Which is interesting. It means it might have a better chance of going to war. If France gets involved in a bad war, bad for them, that gives us a good opportunity. Our budget not looking too great right now. Oh, wow, okay. So, Spain has just acquired for free a big chunk of France. Would have been a lot better for us if that had gone to war, but... oh well. Oh, the American Civil War has started. Probably going to end in the usual manner. Well, things might be different in the New Nations mod. I'm not really familiar with any differences that happen with the whole Civil War thing. But I think I will need to reduce some spending here. We'll go right down to 50%. on military. Try to keep education up if I can. Yeah, looks like it's going to go the usual way there. Probably. It seems Sardinia Piedmont has been busy annexing various people that used to be here. New ideas. Tukulur intellectuals have brought several new ideas before the court, ideas that could advance our research considerably. They are also quite contentious, however, and a rejection of the intellectuals could do much to soothe the aristocracy. So we can gain 300 research points, and aristocrats become more reactionary and gain militancy, or lose research points, and have all pops lose militancy. I think we'll gain the research points. Might not actually be the optimal thing to do there, but I really like research points. I'm not sure what our next reform should be. I think they're all pretty much the same cost at this point. We should maybe consider a military one next, maybe. Rescript on education. Our educational system is deeply mired in ancient tradition and long-established dogma. While it has helped maintain the traditional order in eras past, the old system has a hard time integrating the new knowledge that is spreading from the civilized nations of the West. By reforming the system, we risk upsetting the vested interests of the traditionalists, but can we afford not to? We can get educational reform, giving us 10% to research points, and higher consciousness, and possibly become more liberal, or we can gain 5 prestige. Well, I was just speaking of how much I love research points, so let's get more research points. Up to 4.66 daily. Flu pandemic we will pay for, I suppose. Prussia. The great powers of Europe joined together in Berlin to negotiate the future of the Balkans. While there was much contention, ultimately it was decided the Ottoman Empire needed to be kept strong, and any demands placed on it should not weaken its interest unduly. Few of the attendees were pleased, the Russians in particular, and even though the Congress favoured the Ottomans, it remains to be seen whether they will bow to European pressure and uphold the Congress's edict. Okay, not quite sure what's going on there, but we'll see, I suppose. I don't really like the industrial reforms. You just get a single factory. Doesn't really seem worth it. Also, they're more expensive. Admin reform would be another good one. Actually, finance reform also would both increase our income, which would be useful. France is at war, but not with anybody who is likely to give them much trouble, so I don't think this really presents an opportunity to us, unfortunately. Yeah, we should be... Actually, the UK has been doing their own relations improvement here, it looks like, which is totally fine with me. I usually like to get a notification when somebody increases relations with us. If I can find a message here. Benin has increased their relations with us. We'll just have a pop-up if it's an interesting country, I think. Apparently Benin is an interesting country. They're increasing relations with us. Clash of ideals. Tutelar intellectuals have clashed with members of the aristocracy in Segu. The aristocracy has accused the intellectual elite of attempting to cast aside the Tutelar way of life, while the intellectuals say that progress is necessary if the Tutelar Empire is to have any chance against Western imperialist powers. The argument of the intellectuals is convincing, but this has not calmed matters in the streets. So, all pops in one of our provinces gain militancy. Progress is necessary. One of the features of the New Nations mod, I think, I'm not completely familiar with it, but I believe that advanced nations will get better and better CBs against uncivilized African nations as the game goes on. So we are on the clock when it comes to westernizing. I'm not sure what date we're supposed to be worried about. I think 1880 maybe? Tutelar Jihad. Okay, Tutelar Muslims are calling for the jihad to continue. All Islamic states of the Sahel united under one flag. So we are going to get the free Sahel Jihad CB on Wolof. Alright. Which is okay. I'm not sure whether it's a good idea for us to declare war right now. We're friendly with France. I'm not sure if them being friendly with us will prevent them intervening. Our CB won't last forever. It'll be probably a year or 2 years. We'll get to keep it December 64. So we get to keep it 2 years. So I might just wait a little while, see if they get involved in some sort of more distracting war here. New ideas. Tutelar intellectuals have brought several new ideas before the court. Okay, so again we can gain some free research points, which I guess we will do. Actually, maybe this time we should just do the militancy reducing option. Militancy isn't terrible. Now we'll take the research points. I find it so hard to say no to research points. Okay, Benin still increasing their relations. Let's get an army stationed over here. Oh, don't go through there. I guess that's my fault, really. They'll suffer a little attrition. The French war is already over. Ideally, they'll get into some terrible war against both, like, Prussia and the UK or something, and be much too occupied to do anything down in Africa, but if that doesn't happen by the time our CB is about to expire, I might just give it a try anyway. Okay, crisis in Mongolia again. If the previous ones are anything to go by, it probably won't get any international attention. Yep. It's fine, I suppose. I wonder if the Papal States and the Two Sicilies are close to being in Sardinia's sphere. Opposed to France. Friendly with Sardinia? Okay, pretty close. They should be able to form Italy if they get both of them sphered, I think. Friendly with both. Actually, almost in sphere there. So we should see Italy turning up pretty quickly. Actually, they may need to get some land from Austria as well. Assuming it works the same way as it does in vanilla, I think. Unless they already did that. I don't remember. Ethiopia's current war against Egypt not going too well, apparently. They've been losing battles. They seem to have absorbed most of the states that used to be here. Not sure if they have cores elsewhere. Apparently not. Except for the couple they have remaining in their area there. Okay, so a bit over a year left with our CB. We'll go increase relations with the UK again. Cholera. So we can quarantine the province or do nothing. Yeah, we'll quarantine it. And we're losing militancy and consciousness again, which is fine. We're still not really looking like we're going to get sphered very soon. UK actively influencing us right now. Just being discredited by France. So, probably one of them will get there eventually. At least our budget is looking pretty positive right now. I'm not going to increase any sliders just yet, though. We also could build a few more army units, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think we have enough troops to fight pretty much anybody we want to. Barring, of course, the great powers, which obviously we couldn't fight no matter how many troops we built. Several of the great powers, speaking of, have in the past few years sought to establish formalized and permanent embassies in the Tukulur Empire, but up until now we've turned down their proposals. However, an idea has been floating around the capital that we should perhaps allow them to set up these embassies after all, provided they are all kept in one place where we can exact some amount of control, perhaps a legation quarter in Segu. So we can do that or give Spain a CB against us, which is probably a bad idea. Gets us more research points for 10 years, so seems fine anyway. Western approaches. News reaches us that an expatriate community of foreigners from various European countries and great powers has formed in one of our cities. Doubtlessly, this is a direct effect of our government's policy of open ports and borders. This influx might be positive, as our government seems to believe. However, some voices have less kind things to say about the foreigners. So we can get Western presence forever, giving us research points and increased local consciousness, and more reactionary pops, or again, I guess we get, we're going to give Spain some kind of insult. We'll allow the Western presence, I think. That seems alright. And we are getting up to the point where we're close to getting another reform. Europeans harassed. The high militancy among certain parts of the population in Segu has led to an outbreak of violence directed at local expatriate foreigners. The embassies of the Great Powers have all lodged formal diplomatic complaints with our government. They seem to expect some sort of action on our part. What should we do? Ignore them, losing Western presence, and all Great Powers will have their relations with us changed by -20, which is something we definitely don't want to do, or any pops in Segu with militancy above 3 will lose 2 militancy and lose 5% population, so I think we'll have to do this. I don't want to reduce my influence with the UK especially, so we'll do that one. Okay, well, that is gonna do it for this episode. We're just about out of time, so thanks for watching, and join me again next time.